There, it fits like a charm. That, of course, means these guys willingly and knowingly hid a piece of this jar in the safe. In other words, concealed a piece of evidence from the SL9 incident.
Hey guys, get a load of this.
What is this?
This piece I just found attached. It's different from the others.
How so?
There's a reddish line on it.
A reddish line. That's blood. And there we go. Why is this dude laughing at me?
That's his gumshoe.
Alright.
I'm sure that's what he wants.
Yo, it's B-tean Screen. How's everybody doing today? I'm doing fantastic. Back here again with another episode of the Phoenix Wright series. We're nearing the end of this, actually. Of this game.
Sure, let's go with that. Yes, of this game, yeah.
Yeah. So,
In the last episode, we were getting more information on the Joe Dark killings.
yeah,
And,
really dark.
And Goron Gant won't let us in his office, which is sus.
Yeah, I feel like he's a murderer.
So in this episode, we need to find a reason as to how to get Gumshoe to let us in his office.
So where are we going first?
Well, if there's any reason to get Gumshoe to get us into his office, it'd be the High Prosecutor's office. February 24th, Prosecutor's office. Underground parking lot.
No one's here today, not even Miss Star.
Everyone's probably busy looking into what exactly happened. Down in the evidence room. That must be where the detectives are.
Though we proved in court today that on that day of the crime, no one was murdered in the evidence room at 5:15.
Yeah, I thought we were finally making some headway in our case.
But instead, it looks like we just ended up making Lana look even more guilty.
Hang in there, Lana.
We gotta find all the answers by tomorrow.
February 24th, High Prosecutor's office, room 1202.
I wonder if Edgeworth is back yet.
There he is! It looks like he's writing something. What are you doing here?
He sure was quick to throw that paper on the floor. Tough day in court, huh?
I've had to live the past 2 years with rumors flying around. What's another allegation to me? Cheer up, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm rooting for you.
That's Edgeworth for you. Always trying to hide his real feelings.
So what do you want? Unlike some people, I don't have all day. Examine the thingy.
Oh, no, went too far. I wonder what he was writing before.
Come on, Mr. Wright. Let's take a look.
Are you crazy? Edgeworth is sitting right there.
Just distract him. I'll check him out.
Hey, Edgeworth. Is there a gumshoe out the window there? Oh no, he's falling to the ground.
Hold on. First, let me see what this girl's doing crawling around my feet.
He didn't even look.
What? Letter... If you're having trouble reading, I'll read it for you. It says, letter of resignation.
Yes! Resignation? Edgeworth, what you don't mean?
I'm tired, Wright. I feel as if something inside me has died.
Probably your soul.
But Mr. Edgeworth, none of it is your fault. I know the path I've walked. You don't need to tell me. And the path I've walked hasn't been a just one. I can't forgive myself for what I've done. And no one else should forgive me either.
Oh, I think he's serious.
Mr. Wright! Please, you have to do something.
Nah. Without a resignation, I wonder if I can use it for anything. Be serious.
Letter of resignation put into pocket. Now you can talk to him. There's no excuse for what I've done. 2 years ago, I used false evidence to obtain a guilty verdict. That's what it all breaks down to, and nothing I do can erase that fact.
But you didn't know, did you? I mean, that evidence was falsified.
The police department and the prosecutor's office share a bond of trust. If that bond is broken, we stand to lose everything. The police department's error is my error, my responsibility as the prosecutor in charge. That fact remains the same no matter what excuses I might have. Mr. Edgeworth, I take pride in my work. So tell me why. Why has it all come to this?
Even Edgeworth can't keep this kind of emotion bottled up. Tomorrow's trial. Are you up for the trial tomorrow?
First last year's trial, and now this one. Seems all you do is worry about me. To be honest, you're getting on my nerves. But Mr. Edgeworth, you can't just walk out on the trial. Tomorrow's the last day. It's too late to change prosecutors. I'll bet that's what my superiors are banking on. I never thought that case would come back to haunt me like this.
What do you mean?
The list of evidence. It seems too short. Most lists run twice as long.
It's only half as long as most lists? That's odd.
After Neil Marshall was murdered, I became prosecutor for that case. I may not have been part of the investigation, but I knew what I had to do. Use the evidence I was given to prove the suspect guilty. That was really the only thing on my mind at the time. Say, we just saw a picture taken around that time.
That picture, something seems strange about it. Do I present the picture?
You can talk and then present the picture.
Okay, fine. The day of the crime. Can you tell us again what happened that day? The day Jerry Goodman was murdered. You're participating in a ceremony over at the station, right?
I never cared for ceremonies, but I had to attend that one. Because you were awarded this? Those receiving awards can't exactly skip out on the ceremony. I finished up at the office in the morning, then drove over to the police department.
You finished up at the office?
Yes, just odds and ends, clerical stuff. Didn't plan on returning to the office that day. That is, until I was asked to take something back. Take something back? This. Oh yeah! Goron Gant asked you to hold on to that, didn't he? Yes, it was a piece of evidence in a case that was closed half a year ago. He asked me to bring it back to the prosecutor's office.
That's the story we heard yesterday. So you came back to the prosecutor's office because the chief asked you to.
That's right.
Present. I don't want to look at it, no. I want to present. This picture was hanging in the wall in Chief John's office.
Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He had just started making a name for himself. Looks like this was taken when he received the King of Prosecutors trophy. Speaking of that, there's something that bothers me. Yes? The trophy Mr. Marshall is holding. It's a little different than yours. Yes, you're right. Ah, I remember now.
Remember what?
That was what the official prosecutor's trophy looked like until 2 years ago. There's a story behind its design.
It's sword and shield.
A story?
Transition. Interesting. Would you mind telling it to us?
It's simple, really. Contradiction. That's what the award's based on.
Oh.
Show him the trophy.
You know, it wouldn't hurt if you put this up somewhere on your shelf.
That has no meaning for me anymore.
What do you mean anymore?
That's who I was last year. What good is it to dwell on the past?
That's me?
Ugh. Why can't he just accept it graciously? Actually, something's been troubling me about this shield. Look, do you notice anything different?
Different?
Yeah, don't you remember? The other shield in the court record?
I guess I'd better present this other shield.
Oh, so you did backwards. It's okay.
Patchy.
You already presented it.
Do I present it again?
No.
Oh yeah, right there. Right there.
This award originates from an ancient Chinese tale. In Chinese, the word contradiction is written with 2 characters.
Oh.
The first means halberd, and the second means shield. Have you heard this story?
Me? Sure, everyone knows that. Why don't you tell me it though, for Emma's sake?
The first means Zacian, and the second means Zamacenta. Long ago in the kingdom of Chu, there was an arms merchant. One day he presented the king with 2 items. The first was a halberd he claimed could slice through any shield or armor. The second was a shield he claimed could withstand any weapon.
Wait a minute. Those claims contradict each other.
Very perceptive. Again, you've heard this story before, right? Anyway, as you mentioned, the very descriptions of these items discredit them both. When the king pointed this out, the merchant was left speechless. And thus the Chinese word for contradiction was born.
Ah.
Oh, I see. So the chipped shield and broken knife symbolize... Precisely so. They symbolize the merchant's items. The ancient tale ends with the merchant at a loss for words. But it's in our nature to pursue matters to their conclusion, even if it results in something as ugly as this. Wow! Thanks, Mr. Edgeworth. I learned something new today.
That's funny. If that's so, then why were you only given a shield?
Have to ask Chief Gant. 2 years ago, he had the halberd part of the award abolished.
Chief Gant. Ah.
Move to the underground parking lot. Number 24, prosecutor's office, underground parking lot. Excuse me.
Damn it.
Would either of you care for a quarter-pound of roast beef?
Actually sounds good. Sure, I guess she's out of lunches.
You certainly are the curious sort, aren't you? Kind of like the first person who sucked a cow's nipple to discover milk. Not mine, though. So I never thought you'd go digging up that case from 2 years ago.
Wait, did you just call her a cow?
Listen. It's a kink, okay? Anyways, not of mine, but just in general.
Everyone in the trial is involved in the SL9 incidents. Not only that, but the murder occurred on the very day the evidence from the case was due for transferal. This can't be an attribute to mere coincidence.
Aren't you forgetting something? You know, that little scene I happened to witness?
The innocent Lana stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife.
No matter how much of the past you dig up, it won't change what I saw.
Roast beef is meant to be savored when eaten.
Miss Star's hatred toward Lana. It all dates back to 2 years ago. I have to talk to her, don't I?
Yeah.
Joe Dark, that's a name I'll not soon forget. Running for half a year. With the pressure.
Oh, maybe that was normal voice. Still, I don't think I was ever more alive than I was then. Those days were steamier than a bowl of hot gravy. Poor old Jake Marshall, though, must have been going through hell.
You mean because of his brother's death?
They were close, those two. After Neil died, something took over Jake. He became upset. Oh, wrong voice.
I've near that something savage every us. Seeing Jake like that made her all the more desperate.
Her?
Lana Sky.
Wait.
My sister. The best of the best were put on that SL9 case. Of course, they were led by that legendary duo. Lana and Goron Gant.
Alright.
That legendary pair was the reason we were able to keep up our investigation. That's why we were so shocked over how it turned out.
You mean with the forging of the evidence?
Don't get me wrong, Joe Dark got what he deserved. Still, it was obvious the evidence producer Coop was being manipulated. Items their team never found would suddenly appear, while other items were kept secret.
You don't have proof anything illegal was done. Damn it.
I'm proof enough of what happened. After that case, all of us save Goodman were relieved of our duties. Most without even so much as an explanation. Then Lana Sky transferred to the prosecutor's office and became chief prosecutor.
Lana always wanted to be a prosecutor. Nothing's quite as simple as it appears. Huh? Lana Sky was merely being used as a pawn.
That's my take on the matter.
He was being used?
Goron Gant and Lana Sky. Gant led the investigation with Lana second in command. They were the best. Like, totally. They solved all kinds of cases together, didn't they? Damon Gant's magnetism in particular was almost unreal.
His magnetism?
His ability to track evidence. He produced the most credible evidence in the cases he handled.
Incredible evidence, you mean?
Oh yes, there were rumors about him even back then. No one dared confront him, though.
I take it she's talking about the forged evidence.
Back then, everyone looked up to Lana. All the detectives wanted to be like her.
Or in
Like her. You naughty lawyer. Really?
Oh yes, myself included. I was a fool, really.
She hated anything crooked and always watched out for the other detectives. That's why she was so concerned for Jake. Mr. Marshall. When Jake's brother was murdered, she felt as if she had lost her own brother. If it wasn't for her, I don't think Jake would ever have recovered from his shock.
That's make it all the more infuriating.
Miss Starr.
That's why I'll never be able to forgive her. Why did she have to turn so cold after that?
Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office 2 years ago, didn't she?
Yes, thanks to Chief Gant's powerful influence. I mean Goron Gant. Oh my gosh. Chief? That's right. Having solved the S19 case, his position as chief was secured. Yes, Queen. There was only one thing left for him to control. And then no one could stand in his way.
Security's office.
What? You mean that's why Lana was transferred?
Tell the chief prosecutor you can control the prosecutor's office. That must have been his goal all along.
But how could he control Lana?
I don't know, but one thing's for sure. Ever since that case ended, she's never been the same. It's only logical to conclude.
There must have been a reason for her change.
At last, I'm finally getting close to the bottom of this ugly mess. Thank you, Miss Star.
You listen to me, rookie. It takes more than just ingredients to create fine cuisine.
Yeah, we looked at your ingredients.
I hope you turn out to be a better chef than I've been.
That won't be a problem.
You can move to the police department. And then move to criminal affairs.
Alright.
Roger 24 Police Station, Criminal Affairs Department. Oh, you're back.
You're still here?
Gotta make 150 copies of these files. Brewing coffee, copying files. Turn into a regular DJ. You're a DJ as well?
If I'm not mistaken, I think you mean this desk job.
Oh, that DJ. Silly me. Gotta admire persistency, but my answer's still no. Not letting you in the chief's office, period. It'd be my neck on the line.
And obviously the last crime scene in the SL9 facility. I have to take a look in there.
There's gotta be something we can do to make the detective change his mind.
Do we have anything yet?
Oh, yes, present to him the thingy.
This?
My Discord's going crazy.
That's good. We like that for you.
No, I don't have... I'm talking about the Bed Boy server.
Oh, are you being pinged?
I don't know.
I have a dot there too, but I don't get pinged for regular messages.
Anyways. What's this crumpled up piece of paper? No way! Mr. Edgewood can't be serious!
You ever not serious?
Can't believe they pushed him this far. Mr. Edgeworth really feels responsible. When I first met him, I thought he was as cold as ice, too. But I know different now. He trusts us detectives to provide him with sound evidence. But we betrayed him. Detective. That's it. I've made up my mind. But... Here, take my ID card. They wouldn't let you off the hook with another lost item report. Look at me. It's no secret I'm already out of the loop. After all, I'm friends with Mr. Edgeworth. Depending on how this case turns out, I may already be as good as terminated.
The Terminator, yay! What?
So at least let me do this, for Mr. Edgeworth's sake.
Yeah. Alright, detective, thank you.
Yamcha's ID tucked swiftly in the pocket.
Yay! Up we go!
February 24 Police Department Chief's Office.
Yeah!
Here goes, Mr. Wright. We're in. If anyone finds us now,
Detective Gumshoe the goner.
that happens, I'm counting on you to bail me out. Yeah! Sorry, I thought you were a ghost. Didn't even know you could slap a ghost.
Detective Gumshoe, what are you doing sneaking up on us like that?
I wasn't sneaking. I was just worried something might go wrong. So I came to.
You're here, then what's the point in giving us your ID card? Crushed and rendered unusable in pocket.
Hey, don't do that to my card. I hardly ever get a chance to come in here. So I figured I'd have a look around myself. Besides, we're all in this together now. You really do want to get fired, don't you? Not if we're lucky. Now come on, let's see what we can find out.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Talk.
That desk on the other side of the room. Was that your sister's?
Yes, that's where I was waiting for Lana. On that day 2 years ago.
Is anyone using it now?
No, sir, this is entirely Chief Gant's office now. He practices a strict policy of preserving the crime scene.
That's a strange reason to leave it there.
He leaves it as a warning to everyone else. He wants us to always be alert. He told us himself at our New Year's party. Of course, he was pretty intoxicated at the time.
You see,
So ever since Lana left, no one ever touches that desk? No one except Chief Gant. And the cleaning lady who's in here each morning.
still 2 years have passed since that incident. There can't possibly be any clues remaining.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
You only came here to look around, right? Because it's one of the SO9 crime scenes. I mean, that's your only reason for coming here, isn't it?
What do you ask?
You don't think... Nah, you wouldn't be... No. No, there's no way. Never mind. Don't worry about it.
Okay, now then, let's look around for a bit more.
Hey, hold on. Not so fast, buddy.
Huh? What is it?
When someone tells you don't worry about it, it's supposed to start bothering you, pal. You don't just let it go at that.
I'm sorry. It's actually starting to get on my nerves. Okay, so what's bothering?
You don't think... Nah, never mind. Nah, Goron Gant might be a suspect, do you? What? He's right, Mr. Wright. What do we think of him?
Gorons are evil? Chief Gant. Goron Gant. So it's finally come to this. What do I think of him? Perhaps it's best I don't divulge my feelings. Yet.
There you go, ignoring me again. Now you get to examine... What sticks out to you?
This is a safe, isn't it?
Safe. That word is ripe with intrigue.
Okay. If you say so.
Looks like a code needs to be entered in this panel to open it.
A 7-digit number. I think I know what number.
You know what it is?
I have a hunch.
Oh, I know. You want to try my birth date? It's June 6th of 66.
I have a better idea. Here goes nothing. Yes!
Hey, you must have a
Yay.
walkthrough open too.
No, it's just like the 7-digit number. It's like all codes. The one code we don't know who it belongs to.
What number did you enter? Whose birthday was that, pal?
777777. Final ID card on that record.
What?
The number of the mysterious executive officer who entered the room that day.
You mean 777777? That ID number?
I think you're 1/7 shy this time. This can only mean one thing. That's Chief Gan's ID number.
Say, anyone care to look inside? Is there any money in there? How much does he have stashed away?
20K.
Look, it's a shard from a broken cup.
This somehow looks familiar. Where have I seen this before?
There's something else in here too.
A handprint? What's this? It looks like a piece of leather cloth.
This is a handprint, isn't it? Hey, I saw someone wearing a shirt like that once. Think that Chief made up the design?
Don't you go home?
I don't think so. Oh, well, it was just a thought. Is that it? This is all the safe?
Apparently so. It's empty now.
Piece of cloth with a handprint on it, and a broken shard from a cup.
You look like pieces of evidence.
Yeah, but unless you can prove they have something to do with this case, I'm afraid I can't just let you take them. After all, it's my neck on the line here.
Great. Now I have to prove their relevancy to them. Are these two items related to the SL9 incident?
Come on, there's gotta be something we can show the detective. Examine the desk.
Oh, examine the desk.
Wow, look at the size of Goron Gant's desk.
Can we just replace the S with a C and say that again?
Look at the size of Goron Gant's dick.
Speaking of that, when we were here earlier...
Oh, it's you two.
She again. He put that paper he was reading in the desk. Wonder what he was reading.
This looks like a list of evidence.
A list of evidence.
In most cases, the list runs twice as long as this, though. Hey, look at the case name.
SL9.
Huh? SL9 incident. Wonder what this is doing here.
Hold on, detective. What did you just say?
I said, I wonder what
No,
it is doing
about
here.
evidence lists. Normally they're twice as long.
That's right. I guess there wasn't a lot of evidence.
A half-size list of evidence.
The list of evidence, it seems too short. Most lists run twice as long. Like my dick.
What would the other half of the list be doing here?
I knew it! The chief must be hiding something about that case.
It would appear so. Ah, it was ripped in half, so this part is all I've got.
Evidence is absent the court record. Okay, now
present
show him the thingy.
The Voss.
Yes.
Yeah, Gumshoe, could you have another look at this jar?
I remember when the three of us put that back together. Ah, those were the days.
That was yesterday. Kind of early to be nostalgic.
Wasn't this jar a piece of evidence from that case? That's right. One of the shards had an SL9 incident sticker on it.
Don't know there's anything else? You know, that fragment we just found?
You mean this one? That was in the safe? Yes, that one! That was in the safe. Ah! Now that you mentioned it's ringing a lot of bells. Let's see if it fits.
The symbol for fragments. Here, let me take that chart. I'll take a crack at this. Just like how the base is cracked.
Go ahead, pal. Show us what a rookie can do. Mr. Wright, here's some glue.
We can piece this together again. It'll prove the cheat guns was knowingly hiding evidence. Here goes. Wait, all the pieces? Oh no, we're good.
Yay.
Easy. There, it fits like a charm. That, of course, means these guys willingly and knowingly hid a piece of this jar in the safe. In other words, concealed a piece of evidence from the SL9 incident.
Hey guys, get a load of this.
What is it?
This piece you just found attached. It's different from the others.
How so?
There's a reddish line on it.
A reddish line. That's blood.
I don't get it. Why would Chief Gant hide this in a safe?
Because it's his blood.
Unstable jar updated on the court record. Now present
What am I presenting?
some fluid.
Oh, fluid.
Hey, I just bought some of that stuff. Now I can go around detecting blood traces too. Wow, is that a new type? I've never seen that bottle before. Add 3 inches to your base height.
Base height? Yeah, let me see that. Living tall, new and improved growth formula.
You mean this can't detect any blood traces? Oh, well, it's not quite the same thing as luminol. So that's why the lady at the counter had that smirk on her face. Maybe examine and then maybe present something. No, not the vase. Hey, look here. It's hard to make out, but there's a dark red stain here.
Looks like blood.
Blood stains on the other pieces are just spots. But this one's a line.
That is odd. What am I doing, Patchy?
Get up. Examine. Go to the left.
Slide to the left.
Now, the spray. Spray the luminol.
Oh, that's...
I think you have to be on examine to spray it.
Oh, wow. Damn it.
Court record. There you go.
We're figuring this out. Examine.
Whoa, this area must have been covered in blood.
Is this from that incident?
It must be. Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered. 2 years have passed, so the reaction's kind of dull.
The murder really did take place here.
And then check the evidence list.
Oh, court record. Okay.
Turn it around.
Oh? This is her picture! I wonder what this is. Looks like someone drew some kind of sketch here.
What is it? Did you find something?
I can't make it out. I better keep quiet about it for now. Huh? Oh, no, it's nothing.
Why are your eyes moving about like that, Mr. Wright?
Better not forget about this picture. Yay.
Now, get out and examine the picture. The Gant team picture above the desk. It's else was taken on that day 2 years ago?
The day Joe Dark ran out on questioning room and tried to kill Emma.
After receiving his award trophy, Mr. Marshall took a picture here. Then went along with Chief Gant to question Dark. Bet he never knew he'd be dead just a few hours later.
Gee, you think?
And then...
I'm doing this just for my sake, okay? I don't care if this is, like, what I'm supposed to do. Okay, now. What are we doing?
Present the fingerprints.
Present the fingerprint. Where is this?
You skipped it.
Isn't this?
That, yes.
Okay. Very good. Come shoot. I'd like you to have a look at this.
Hey, I know what that is. So you want to take some fingerprints? That's a great idea, Detective. All right, go to town. Sheesh. Sheesh.
Patchy, you get banned. What are you doing? Why are you sticking out your hand like that?
Go ahead, take my fingerprints. It's not your fingerprints we want to take. Huh?
Come on, this isn't the time for jokes. We're talking about that clock that we found in the safe.
Oh, I knew that. The one with the handprint on it, right?
Yeah.
Sheesh, where's your sense of humor?
Gone.
Okay, Mr. Wright, let's check sprinkle the powder on the cloth. Then, once they've been absorbed into the prints, blow the rest away.
What are you, my mom? I don't have to be told a million times. Alright, let's get this over with.
Yay.
I'm being safe with this one because, like, the last few ones, I've had to, like, redo it.
Got some bad news for you, though.
What?
This is the wrong fingerprint.
Oh. Kind of result won't be good for any match.
That result won't be good for any matches, huh? Doesn't look like we'll get a clear result from this print. Okay, let's try a different finger then.
This one?
Yeah. Just blowing. Powder everywhere.
Oh my goodness.
So close. So close.
Oh my goodness. Why can I not just, like, let this work? There we go.
There you go. Whose fingerprint could it be?
Emma. Okay. No, how can this be? What are Emma's fingerprints doing here?
You found a match? Whose fingerprints were they?
Huh? Oh, seems the prints are too old. They aren't clear enough to get a match.
Oh, that's too bad. I thought they'd be Dark's prints. Hey, you, over here. What's going on here? What are that kid's prints doing inside the chief's safe?
Don't ask me. Let's just keep this information from Emma for now.
Here, maybe you should hold on to this.
Probably. Alright.
Well, was I any help?
A little bit. Thanks to your ID card, we were able to get some hard evidence.
No, that's not very kind, is it? In other words, if it wasn't for his ID card, he would have been useless. Isn't that right, you in the coat? Go on, Gant.
We didn't think you'd be back so soon.
Fortunately, I'm a man who believes in signs. As I was walking to my meeting, I happened to look out a window and I saw a stray dog run right into a pole. Just then I thought of a certain detective. Do you mean me, sir? Now then, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you all to leave. Yes, sir. Sorry. Oh, you in the coat. Me, sir? Drop off your ID on the way out. You won't be needing it anymore. But, sir... Now get out. Yes, sir.
We'll be on our way too then.
Wait, you, the one with the spiky hair. Don't go yet. Me, sir? I'd like a word with you. But, sir, I'm not a licensed scientific investigator yet. You with the spiky hair. You're free to go. Mr. Wright. Look, pal, if I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times. Chief's office is off limits. But no, you just had to go sneak it in there like that, didn't you?
I thought you said you didn't care anymore if you were fired.
Yeah, but if I knew it'd be like this, never would have said it.
Now that I've seen the evidence Chief Gaunt was hiding in his office, I think I'm finally starting to get the picture. But why was she kept eerily silent about all this time?
Anyway, you listening to me? I'm gonna try to smooth things over with the chief again. Later, pal.
After that, I heard from Emma. She said the police wanted to ask her some questions, so she'll be busy for the rest of the day.
February 24th, Detention Center, Visitors Room. I see. The chief asked Emma to come in for questioning.
No use thinking about it. Tomorrow's the final day in the course. I'm committed to doing everything I can to defend you, which is why I'm here.
But I've already told you all I can.
What you've told me over these past couple of days is absolutely nothing. Not a single useful thing.
Really? I believe I did mention something quite important. Something I told you right at the beginning. I said that I was the one who stabbed Detective Goodman.
You know, I think I finally figured it out. I know who it is that's lurking behind your words.
Mia did a good job mentoring you. I'm rather jealous. It seems Edgeworth was right.
Edward?
Once you're convinced you know something, no one can persuade you otherwise. Thick-headed is the term he used, I believe.
Now's my chance to get her to tell me the rest of the story. Yeah, talk! I have to admit, I was more than a little perplexed at the first. You insisted you did it, yet there was no incriminating evidence. That's when it hit me. It's not that you're unwilling to tell the truth, it's that you're incapable of doing so because of a certain individual.
What an intriguing notion. A certain individual, you say. So you think I'm protecting this person?
Protecting? No. I think afraid of is more like it. If I'm not mistaken, the person in question may have persuaded you to silence.
For argument's sake, Mr. Wright, whom may I ask is this person you're speaking of? The one I am supposedly so frightened of. What is this person's name?
This one?
Nope.
Well, Miss Guy?
Mr. Wright, you are addressing the chief prosecutor. Do not forget your place.
I take it she will not... She's still not ready to spill the beans.
My apologies. Could you please tell me a bit more about what you think you know? We were partners until 2 years ago. I respected him as a detective.
Assuming he is respectable, then tell me something. Why would he try to hide his crimes?
His crimes?
Both you and Edward will be brought before a board of inquiry for what you did. Specifically, hiding and forging evidence.
Of course, these are serious offenses.
Why is it, though, that Chief Gant's name was never mentioned?
Chief Gant?
Edwards didn't know the truth behind the forgery. The only party who could have possibly tampered with the evidence was...
Me. I had access because I was second in command of that investigation.
Yes, you, but also one other, Damon Gant.
If you intend to accuse Chief Gant, you'll need more than just words. Show me proof that Chief Gant falsified evidence in that case.
This?
No. Yeah.
I just found this in a safe in the chief's office. This jarred piece and this piece of cloth. You know what these are? They're pieces of evidence from the SL9 incident.
Hey.
The person concealing evidence was none other than Chief Gant himself. Now tell me, why are you taking all the blame for him?
Touché, Mr. Wright. As you surmised, I cannot disobey the Chief's orders. Even if it means being found guilty for murder.
Why not?
Come now, Mr. Wright. You can't possibly expect me to be able to tell you that. 3 days ago, I had no choice but to cooperate.
The murder of Detective Goodman.
Or perhaps I should say, follow orders. Yes, that's more accurate than cooperate.
Orders?
Although I can't tell you the details, I can say that I was given an order that day. I need you to dispose of Bruce Goodsman's body. You'll find it inside the trunk of Miles Edgeworth's car.
As I suspected, despite what everyone believes, you are not the one who murdered Detective Goodman.
Correct. I was trying to take the body out of Edward's car. The trunk's lock was broken. And I discovered that murder weapon while inspecting, the body.
The murder weapon? You mean Edward's knife?
No. When I found the body, this was the knife stuck in it.
Knife from the SL9 incident. Serial killer Joe Dark's knife.
I couldn't just leave that knife in him. So I took it out and stabbed him with another knife.
That would be Edward's knife.
That's right. Even though he was already dead, my hands were shaking at the thought of stabbing him. That's why I ended up cutting my hand.
That is the reason for the bandage on your right hand.
Yes, it seems that I got blood on the victim's shoes as well. And then... she saw me just as I plunged the knife in.
Miss Star, huh? Why did you need to hide Dark's knife so badly?
Took a lot of work to finally close the Dark case 2 years ago. It was over with. I didn't ever want it to be opened again. Took a lot of... my intent was to prevent that by whatever means possible.
So you hid Dark's knife.
The weapon used to stab the detective was evidence in the Joe Dark case. If word got out, which it would, the reporters would have a field day with that.
So you wrapped the knife in your scarf and hid it. In Edward's exhaust pipe.
Right. Then I called my sister to tell her what happened and to ask her to hide the knife that was inside my muffler.
You asked Emma?
I didn't want anyone on the force to know about this.
That would explain why Emma was so confident. Oh, Lana's innocent.
Speaking of phone calls, I had a bad feeling about one of them that day.
A bad feeling?
Truth is, after I received those orders from Chief Gant, the first thing I did was make a phone call. A phone call to Patrolman Jake Marshall.
Marshall, why on earth would you call him?
The lead investigator for the SO9 incident had been murdered. I wanted that fact to be kept hidden and I needed help. He was the only other person I could trust. Or at least, I thought I could trust him at the time. However, it seems that after I spoke to him, he went off on an escapade of his own.
Oh, you mean...
Not wanting the case to die, he decided to take things into his own hands.
He disguised himself as Detective Goodman and tried to steal the evidence.
He had already stolen the ID card, but it seems he still hadn't made up his mind to break into the evidence room. After my phone call, any remaining doubts he had must have disappeared.
So your phone call caused the incident in the evidence room.
I'm afraid that's all I can tell you.
But Lana,
You've earned my respect, Mr. Wright, both as a defense attorney and an investigator. Now please, don't pursue this any further in court tomorrow.
tomorrow's trial, there's only one way to drive off Lana's demons. I gotta get to the bottom of everything. Detective Goodman's real murderer. And what went down in the chief's office 2 years ago. We continue.
Yay! Tomorrow's trial day. Woohoo! Well, in game-wise, tomorrow's trial day. Next week, it's trial day.
Yeah. And
Spread some
say-
love into the world. From Patchy.
And peace out from B-tean screen. See you next time. And
Bye.
bye-bye.
There you go. I said it with you.
Yeah. This time.
Yeah.
Just barely.
Oh.